What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is your host, CryptoSomniac, here to bring you everything crypto related, where the rich never sleep. Today, we are going to be talking about the top 5 coins of the week, some of the news. This broadcast will be great for those of you who are... let me make sure my
microphone and everything is working.
Are we good? Are we good?
Are we all good?
Are we all good? Is everything...
Let me make sure the audio you guys can hear me.
Are you able to hear me?
Waiting for you guys on the side. Yeah, you guys pulled up on my other monitor. Are we all good?
Are we all good?
Are we good?
Are we good?
Echo. Okay. All right. We should be good now. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We will. I'm not sure why there's always delay on this audio. I don't get it. All right. Well. Anyway. We're going to be talking about the top 5 coins of the week. We're going to be talking about the news this past week and what it's going to look like going forward. This is a great broadcast if you're someone who doesn't have time to watch every single video I make. So we're going to break it down for you this past week, as well as what's going forward, and we'll try to answer some of your guys' questions as we go. So I am going to pull up my other tab here, and let me move you guys over to my other monitor. And let's start with the top 5 coins of the week. So, without further ado, I bring to you this is not where I wanted to go. Top 5 present. Alright, here we go. At number 5, so there's a bit of a tie between Litecoin and Augur. So I put them both in here. Let's break it down. So they're both trading at roughly 36% up on the past week. And specifically, Litecoin announced, Charlie Lee tweeted out this week that they're testing, Lightning Network on the mainnet, and this could serve as a great hedge coming in the next few weeks as Bitcoin may see a fall in price due to the potential hard fork coming up. So take Litecoin seriously. I think it serves as a good hedge. It's one of the few coins that you can invest in when Bitcoin actually does go down. It is one of the few ways you can hedge your bets out there. And we're going to be talking about how to be able to hedge some of your bets over the next few weeks, as there may be a lot of, there already is a lot of volatility, but there could be even more, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So moving forward, we had PivX coming in at just shy under $3, up 47% on the past 7 days. At number 3, we had Decred, 42.66. Low circulating coin supply for Decred, so a higher price, but 62% up in the last 7 days. At number 2, we have Lisk at $6.75. I saw it broke $7 yesterday for a little bit. Now Lisk is going under some rebranding. It's a platform similar to Ethereum, but you're allowed to program in Java and JavaScript, which makes it a lot easier for some people. And I could potentially seeing it making a run in market cap somewhere along the 2 to 3 billion in market cap in the coming months, and could be a competitor, or could compete on like Neo's levels price as we come into the end of the year. Right now the market cap looks like it's at 800 million, so we could easily triple or quadruple, I think, in price over the next coming weeks in Lisk. Next couple months really, as we approach the end of the year. I don't know that we'll see $40 in the next couple of weeks, but we certainly could by the end of the year, and it's up 93% on the week. And then lastly, at number 1, we have Monero at $130, up 137% on the week due to a lot of different news with Monero. So they have an Android wallet coming out shortly, as well as it being added to some new exchanges here. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We've had a lot of news this week and increases in price due to just it seemed like a lot of exchange news and coins being added to new exchanges, exchanges dropping some coins. So we had a lot of news there. So let's talk a little bit about this past week. Let's start with this. I pulled this article up. So this was Centra Tech. They are a new credit card company, sort of like 10x, Monaco, Token Card. And they recently announced a partnership with Bitset Partners, who are also partnered with Kyber Network, which is also an upcoming ICO that I would take a look at. It's a project that Vitalik is advising. So great news for Centra. They actually ended their ICO and basically turned it into a pre-sale in lieu of this, or in in reaction to this news. So they shut down the ICO. They gave it a few more hours after the partnership was announced, and then they are reopening the ICO in about a month or so. I forget when exactly. So what I did is I went and bought some more Centra due to this news. So good news out of them. We mentioned a lot of news with the exchanges. So Binance is a relatively new exchange, and they seem to be adding a lot of Chinese coins, and they have their own coin of their own, Binance coin, which actually might be worth taking a look at. And a lot of news surrounding, like I mentioned, the exchanges this week and coins being added to them. I would take a look at Binance. I recently signed up a couple of weeks ago. It's a pretty legitimate exchange. They have a lot of interesting pairings that you can't get other places. And if you're part of my Moon Lounge, we will be making some trades through Binance, so it will be a good exchange to get set up on here. And they also have ICOs launching off of this platform. So if you come over here to ICO, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see it without logging in, but they're actually launching, and here you go. They have a bunch of ICOs launching only off of here. Tron was one I tried to get into, and I couldn't get into it due to some overload, but worth taking a look at. Take a look at Binance. Let me take a look. So if you guys have questions, leave them in the side or in the chat below. We'll try to answer them as we go or towards the end. Another article I wanted to point out, and we've been talking about Ethereum and Plasma Network the past couple of weeks. So Ethereum is in the middle of announcing or completing the third major upgrade in their roadmap called Metropolis, scheduled to, whoa, we got all these notifications here. Let me turn these off. So Metropolis is due out towards the end of September, and I was really upset with this article title. This is one of the most clickbait articles I've ever seen. Read this here. It says Ethereum's Metropolis upgrade could still be months away. This here is on CoinDesk, which I'm not the biggest fan of. And then you scroll down to the end of the article, and it says could be here the last week of September, first week of October. And I guess the first week of October does constitute months away, as we still are in August. But when I read this article, I went, wow, Metropolis might not be here till the end of the year. And I read the article, and all it says is the end of September, early October. So what a clickbait article here. But Metropolis, again, is going to greatly enhance the network. It's worth investing in Ethereum now if you're not already invested in it. It's, like I said, a couple of weeks away. They're also implementing Plasma Network in the future. Plasma is sort of like Bitcoin's or Litecoin's Lightning Network version for Ethereum. It's going to make it a whole lot faster, potentially billions of transactions per second. So it would be worth investing more into Ethereum if you're playing on the safe side. I also want to talk about, and I should have went over this before we started covering the news. So let's talk about the market cap, and let's take a look right here. So as you can see, this has been a great month for crypto in general. We've been on a bullish run the past month, and it really hasn't slowed down. And if you just look at that, percentage-wise, it's about the same amount of increase we saw from, March up to June as we've gotten here from, the end of July to August. Like you can see the length of that line right here is almost the same length of that line. So it's only a matter of time until this stuff comes back down and corrects itself. I don't want to say crash because this is a lot of gains. We've doubled the price of Bitcoin in the past month or so. These are humongous gains. So something that we'll be talking about specifically, I know in the Moon Lounge, is how to protect your funds and hedge against these. You can use things such as USD Tether. You can use things such as Litecoin. Dash even has a little bit of an inverse correlation to Bitcoin, and it's only going to be a matter of time until some of this comes back down and we get a little bit of correction. We are at all-time highs really every day. Like we're at $157 billion in market cap, and if I shrink this and bring this down a little bit, you can see we've just been in an upward trend ever since the hard fork and getting that all behind us. So it's been a great month. Just keep in mind that not every month is going to be like this. There's great gains to be had, and if you're in cryptocurrency now, it is you're at a great point. You're at a great stage in the game. It's not too early and it's not too late. You're ahead of the curve, to be honest. So a lot of great things as far as cryptocurrency goes in the next few years. Just keep in mind that we are going to be talking a lot about the hard fork coming up, how that's going to affect the prices of Bitcoin, altcoins. This stuff is going to come back down a little bit, and altcoins are going to be affected the most. So it might be wise to start thinking about where you might want to pull out some of your funds and start to invest them in things a little bit safer as we get closer to this potential hard fork. Let's talk about what else do we have here. So again, I mentioned a lot of news surrounding exchanges and also countries. So Vietnam will be legalizing cryptocurrencies as well as assets by August 2018. So they're seeking to create legislation that will make this legal here, and this really only further propels cryptocurrency and its market size and reach. So, you know, the more countries, the more exchanges that these coins get added onto, the more access that these funds become available to people across the world. So it really gives people an opportunity to buy, and that only increases your investments further. So like I said, we're still really early as far as this whole crypto blockchain technology Bitcoin thing goes. You're in the right spot if you're watching this here today. If you're watching this and it's a year from now, you're in the right spot, because blockchain is not going away. It's just a matter of which companies, which coins, and which projects are going to be here in a year or in 5 years. You know, some of these companies are going to be the Facebooks and the Googles and the Amazons of our country down the line. And, you know, by staying involved and being up to date and watching videos and podcasts in the news, you'll know which ones are going to be there. We have the likes of Ethereum and Neo and Bitcoin, all these big projects which have the potential to be companies that are well known as things like Facebook and Google. And, you know, like I said, being here today, you're setting yourself up in a great position to be able to do that. I think I covered most of the charts here that I wanted to cover. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. Again, I take one-on-one appointments. That's my calendar there. I take one-on-one appointments if you need help. You know, I have a lot of clients that want to take a look at their portfolio on a week-to-week basis or a month-to-month basis, and we keep tabs on them and help set you guys up. So it might be worth taking a look at. I have a link to that in the description of these videos, or you can email me at cryptosomniac@gmail.com to pay in cryptocurrency. If you're new to crypto, take a look at my course in Udemy. It's in the description as well below and in the banner of my YouTube profile. And lastly, we are setting up the Moon Lounge for September 1st. You have a little bit more time to get in if you want. Before we begin, I got people set up and everything to get that going here in the next few days. So if you're interested, that's $100 per month, and you're going to get access to everything that I do in crypto, my trades, past, present, and in the future. What are my opinions on ARK? I read a really good article on ARK just the other night in my Facebook group. So if you're not a member of this, I learned a lot of great stuff inside of my group. So where is it? Cryptosomniacs. Right here. Take a look at the group. It is and join. You can get the description below. There is a lot of information that I've learned in here. And there was an article just the other night, and I wanna highlight it if I can find it real fast. Here it is, right here. If you go into my group and look at ARK, I actually like ARK a lot more after reading a little bit more into it, and I've been invested in it for some months now. But it seems like a really good bet for the long term, and I'm a big fan of industrial use cases and these projects that really bridge the gap in blockchain and bring it to the real world. And ARK is helping to do that. I like projects that, you know, not everyone wants to know how blockchain works. Not everyone cares about a distributed ledger and the blocks. You know, it's confusing, to be honest. You know, my mom and dad, you know, have no idea what blockchain technology is. They can only start to begin to scratch the surface. And, you know, a lot of people are like them. Just, you know, I'm sure your brothers, your sisters, your family, your parents, whoever is involved with blockchain, it's really new to them, and it's going to be hard for them to learn it, adopt it. So I'm a big fan of these projects. We got the credit card companies helping to bridge that gap. We got EOS in the works. We got companies like Lisk and that enabling existing programmers to program in blockchain, you know, that already know things like Java, Stratus, C#, you know, District 0x is a project I'm a big fan of. What do you think would be a good price to pick up Centra on Ether Delta? To be honest, I feel like it'll come back down in price. It has been a bit inflated just due to the panic, the announcement, it being available only on Ether Delta. It'll be cheaper, to be honest, probably when it hits the ICO stage again in September. Don't panic. This stuff is very volatile. It goes up 20% one day and it comes down 20% the next. You know, over the long haul, everything usually goes up. It tends to go up in crypto as long as you're invested in projects that are worth taking a look at, and something that we're going to be talking about in the next day or tomorrow or the day after. Some of my top 5 ICOs coming up, and this is something that I want to talk about. Really, I want to stress to you, read the white paper. I really don't like to invest in a project until I know a little bit more about it, and do your due diligence before, taking my word to invest in something. Read it up. I like to read a white paper a day, and, to be honest, it's not fun to sit through and read a white paper, but it gives you a really good idea of what a project's about, and it can get you excited to do a little bit more research. And, I'll go to bed, and it's my reading material. I'll read a white paper before bed and see if a project's worth taking a look at and investing in. So I highly advise that you guys do the same things. When I say I'm investing in an ICO, don't take my word for it, or just go off of my trades and whatnot. Do your own research, and I encourage discussion and group talks among the group. Not everyone's right, not everyone's wrong, and I like to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I have a partner here that with me, and we talk a lot about the trades we make before, and I bounce ideas off his head, he bounces ideas off mine, and sometimes we're able to change each other's minds because as a community, as a group, you're able to make better decisions as a whole. As opposed to, I think there's a project, I forget what it's called, but sort of the premise is usually asking a question to one expert is usually not as efficient as asking an entire group and sort of taking the group consensus, even though they might not be as qualified to answer the question. Usually the group, the masses usually get it right, as opposed to just asking one expert more times than not. So just want to stress, do your own research, learn as much as you can. There's a lot of great information out there on the web. I do offer a lot of courses and some one-on-one appointments and things like that, but I'm just one resource out there. I encourage you to take a look around. What do you think of OMG? I like OMG a lot. I think there's great potential in it. It is one of my top 5 projects, to be honest, just due mostly, in fact, due to part of the fact that Vitalik is advising the project, and it will be one of the first projects that utilizes the Plasma network on Ethereum. Have I seen XL at Rao2.ai? Looks really promising. No, I'm sorry, I have not. I'll have to take a look later. What are my thoughts on Red Pulse and what will give the token value? We're going to be talking a little bit more about Red Pulse, and specifically, it's really helping to get rid of that sort of opaque gray area in the Chinese market and industry. There's a lot of, it's going to really help promote the free spread and free will of sort of information and research in China. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what specifically gives the token value. I'm not an expert on it yet. I need to do a little bit more research and cover it. I know it's a project that I'll be interested in and probably investing come September 10th, so there's a little bit more time to do that. So as it gets closer, I'm going to probably cover a video on Red Pulse and some of these more interesting ICOs a little bit further. So can't claim to be an expert yet. I will do my research prior to investing. So again, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, and I also offer live chats here, a couple of nights a week, I'll just get in here and throw up live videos. We also give away free cryptocurrency a lot of times. So if someone here on the far right, you guys, I'm looking at you guys, we're going to give away some free UMC. It's a project I've been covering the past couple of weeks, or not past couple of weeks. It was a project I reviewed, a new ICO, and I'll be giving away some free UMC. If you're not familiar with the project, you can take a look back on my video on it. But the first person in the group that can answer what is the 2 projects that Dan Larimer, the CEO or founder of EOS, came from. He was the founder of 2 other projects. If you guys, whoever's first to name which 2, you're going to get some free UMC, some free cryptocurrency here today. Shout that out in the side. What are your thoughts on Wild Crypto upcoming ICO? I don't know if that's an ICO itself, Wild Crypto. Is that the name of it, or do you just mean the frenzy here in ICOs? BitShares and Steem. So yeah, Josh and Joel, that was a close tie. So we'll pick both of you guys, Josh and Joel. If you could, get in contact with me in the Facebook group. Like I said, there's a link below. Just privately message me. You'll need an ERC20 compatible wallet, and I'll get you set up after this call's over. And just so I remember your guys' names, I'm going to take a little snippet right here in Word. Continue to answer you guys' questions, guys. Why isn't this working? Snip. So I'm going to take a snippet of you guys and post that in the group. Winner of today's crypto giveaway. And all you guys have to do to be eligible for this, and I give away free crypto here on the channel almost every day, pretty much. Just do me a favor, reshare this video on Facebook in my group or retweet it. Tomorrow I'll be picking someone at random who does reshare this video. So just reshare this right here or retweet it on Facebook or on Twitter to be eligible tomorrow. And what else? Let me see you guys' questions. Funfair to the moon. It's an interesting project. I haven't invested personally. I'm more of a fan of the industrial use cases and tech stuff, projects that help bridge sort of that gap into the real world. And I don't know, I was just never a betting man, to be honest. I was never a casino or a gambling man, so just projects like that haven't interested me as much. Not that I don't see any reason as to why it might not or not do successful. I'm just not much of a I was never much of a gambler. You know, I lost once and I was sort of done, and I sort of vowed never to gamble again after that. So I'm not a gambling man, unfortunately. What else do we have? Not much. Let's see. What else can I talk about? Again, if you're interested in the Moon Lounge, there's a couple days left. I'm going to be investing a lot of my time into that once it starts up, when I'm not making videos here. I'll be giving out calls to you guys. Thoughts on DNT? We just talked about it. I am very excited about the potential of DNT. I think it's a long-term hold. It's young. It's young. But I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of stuff that bridges that gap, and I see a lot of potential for projects that are, you know, DNT could be the futures of companies such as Uber, Ticketmaster, eBay. A lot of these companies that can be ran more efficiently with less transactions and more community driven, as opposed to profit squeezing and profit margins. I think it has great potential. Entrepreneurs are going to be able to easily come in into a project like that with very little background in blockchain and be able to set up projects that are very successful. So take a look at DNT. I covered it in depth a couple of videos ago. I really like DNT. What else do we have? Let's see. If you don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. What that does, it allows members of the community to know that it was worth watching. And again, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, take a look at it. We got a lot of great articles in here, news coming up about a lot of different projects. And Bankra is an ICO coming up shortly, which I think will be interesting to take a look at. What are your thoughts on STX? Let's take a look at it. We are down a lot. Might be a good time to invest. And I forget what stocks is. I remember taking a look at it not too long ago. It's not a project that I'm extremely familiar with. Oh yeah, prediction markets. Again, I'm a little bit more like industrial use cases and technology, as opposed to sort of the financial side of things, like, you know, Ripple, or let me just take a look here. You know, even a lot of these like Bitcoin, Lisk, and Dash. Like, we have so many currencies out there, you know, and not that stocks is as a currency, but there's so many of them. So I really like the things that are sort of solve new unique solutions in the world, that things that bring something that we don't already have, because there's so many projects out there, you know, and a lot of them are repeats. They, you know, they tweak one thing and they say that, you know, they're end all be all, and that's gonna, you know, they're gonna run the world. So I don't know. Thoughts on PivX and LTC? LTC, keep an eye on it. You know, for some reason, I've been talking to a lot of people recently, and it doesn't seem to be a large portion of their portfolio, since it's really safe. But, you know, you gotta hedge your bets here. You know, you can't go 100% on something like, say, Komodo. You know, you gotta hedge out your bets here a little bit. It might be worth investing some things in the actual stock market as well. You know, buy a little gold and a little silver. You know, maybe some aluminum. Invest a little bit in the stock market, into some of your bigger companies, as well as crypto. And Litecoin, I think, is one of your safer coins, and I think that sort of detracts some of the guys looking for quicker big gains from that. But Litecoin is really stable, and one reason why I like it. Current market cap is 158 billion. Where do you think the market cap will be in 1 year from now? You know, honestly, it could be $1 trillion. It could be $1 trillion a year from now. Might be a little bit aggressive, but we could definitely hit that. We could definitely hit that. We'll shoot you a message about a big investment that I would like a one-on-one appointment for, and also the Moon Lounge. Fingers crossed I can still make it in the lounge for September. You have about the rest of this week to get in, 4 or 5 days, as long as the spots don't fill up. But yeah, let me know whenever you get a chance. Any thoughts on salt lending? I think we talked about this a couple of times here on this As far as I know, again, I'm not the biggest on the finance side of a lot of these projects. Like, again, not that I'm saying anything good or bad about them, but I do like the companies like the credit cards, like the 10Xs and stuff, because they really help to bridge the gap here. But I'm an engineer. I used to be a chemical engineer, so I have more of a background and interest in sort of tech things that really get me excited. You know, maybe if I had a background in finance or if I was a stockbroker or something, some of these projects might interest me more. And to be honest, you know, there might be other guys more qualified to answer some of your guys' questions on things like the financial markets and the decentralized exchanges and the I don't know, like the projects like these. I like industrial use case stuff and tech. Like, let me just take a look at crypto coin market cap. You know, IOTA, that's a project. You know, I love to talk about IOTA. I love to talk about Neo and Ethereum, Lisk. Omise Go I like a lot. That is a little bit more financial. Things like District 0x, ARC, Civic is actually really cool. I love Civic. What else? You know, I like the projects, again, more tech related. I have a background in engineering. Digibyte, I'm not a big fan of Digibyte. What is your guess the next 3 coins that will be carried by Coinbase? That's a good question. Coinbase does extensive reviews on coins and projects. To be honest, if I had to take a guess, I'd say Ripple. Ripple. I believe they carry Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin right now. I'd say Ripple. If they were to add any coin, it would most likely be Ripple. And actually, that's a lie. If they were going to pick any new coin, it's going to be Bitcoin Cash, because they already said they're going to be supporting Bitcoin Cash January 1st. So Bitcoin Cash, Ripple. If I had to throw a third one in there, that would be a tough one, huh? That'd be a tough one. To be honest, I don't think there is a third one at this time that would be worth for Coinbase to be worth looking at. I think Bitcoin Cash and Ripple. That's it. I don't think Coinbase would be interested in carrying any of these other projects at the moment. So maybe in due time. If you don't have any more questions, we're gonna wrap it up here in just a minute or two. Let's take a look. Thank you guys for all your support. We're getting close to 5,000 subscribers, and a lot of stuff here is going to be changing on the channel. We got a lot of great stuff coming out. You're going to see a lot of change here over the next couple of weeks, and it's thanks to you guys. I really appreciate the support, and it's been fun being able to cover this and really do this full time. And, you know, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I have a lot of great information here. You can click all these links if you're new to crypto. Udemy, I got a course there. It's $10. It's honestly your best place to start. I condense everything down for you. I take one-on-one appointments right here. If you're interested in the Moon Lounge, click this link, or you can email me at cryptosomniac@gmail.com to pay via cryptocurrency. We have Facebook. Take a look at the group there. And then there's a lot of great. I make videos here every day. I think yesterday was my first day off in about a month. I was working, but I just couldn't put that video out on YouTube. I had to take care of a lot of back end stuff. Do you think the upcoming fork from Ethereum will boost the price? Yes, I do. We talked about this a little bit earlier, and we talked about it a couple of times. In fact, I made a video about it, of Metropolis and the hard fork, a while ago. I forget where it was. Right here. You might want to take a look at this video right here. How Metropolis will affect Ethereum's price. And we've been talking about it the past couple of days. Read the WSJ piece on Bitcoin bubble today. You know, I was actually considering making a video on the Bitcoin bubble, quote unquote bubble, today alone, and I'm probably going to make that later this week. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that piece and Bitcoin and its bubble, I'll offer them one day this week, because I'd like to talk and make a separate video for that. Factum, I actually withdrew a lot of my holdings in Factum. I was invested in it more largely before. I like what they're going to do, but I don't know. I wasn't getting the gains that I wanted, and I pulled out a little bit. But I like what their roadmap and things that they have planned. So I'm starting to hedge some of my bets and altcoins into some stronger things, or at least I'm starting to think about it as we approach the potential hard fork. I'm thinking of things like getting back more into Neo at a cheap price, you know, things like your Litecoins, your Bitcoin, and starting to maybe consolidate my portfolio a little bit, or at least start to think about it. There are still some gains here to be had, but it might be, start thinking about that. And, I just want to plant a seed, and do your own research. So if that's going to wrap it up here for today, which I think it will. Again, NEO is shooting back up as we speak. Yes, I know. So if you're not in NEO, it'd be a great time to maybe pull out of some of those altcoins and get back invested into NEO. A lot of people, I don't know. I'll cover that separately. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. That's going to wrap it up here for today. So meanwhile, everyone here, stay a crypto somniac, because the rich never sleep.